Qatar, 2022. Japan wasn't supposed to beat Germany, they weren't supposed to beat Spain, and they definitely weren't supposed to survive the group of death, but they did. And in 2026, the giant killers are back. When Japan walked into the 2022 FIFA World Cup, the narrative was written. Nobody expected them to escape that group. Even fewer expected them to dominate it. But they didn't just scrape by, they toppled tournament heavyweights, Spain and Germany, one by one. Their heroics stunned the footballing world. Even though they exited in the next round, the message was sent. The perception of Asian football had shifted forever. And yet, almost nobody sees them as serious contenders for the throne. Now, as the 2026 World Cup draws near, the stakes are higher. The expectations have changed. With a squad that is more mature, more balanced, and possesses a bench deeper than ever before, Japan might just be the one team nobody wants to see in their bracket. So, let's break down the evolving identity, the chemistry, and the fearless mindset that could make Japan the biggest shock of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The origins. To understand this rise to prominence, we have to go back. We need to trace the evolution right back to the source. Football arrived in Japan in the late 19th century, mostly through schools and universities. But for decades, it remained a ghost, a niche pursuit living in the shadow of a different giant, baseball. Baseball was the national obsession. Japan wasn't born a football nation. It had to fight for the sport. Everything they are today, the discipline, the humility, the surgical precision, it wasn't given to them. It came from building football from scratch. Then, in 1993, the spark lit the fuse. The formation of the J-League changed everything. For the first time, Japan had a fully professional domestic league. Real investment, modern coaching, community-driven clubs. But still, the world wasn't watching. Very few outside Asia noticed what was being built. The football fans had no idea what was coming next. Impact of foreign stars. Then came the teachers. Foreign stars like Zico, Gary Lineker, Michael Laudrup, and Hristo Stoichkov. They brought global attention, but more importantly, they brought world-class standards of training, discipline, and professionalism. These icons accelerated the league's technical growth and inspired a new generation. Suddenly, the domestic system began producing its own superstars. Hidetoshi Nakata, the Ballon d'Or nominee who kicked down the door in Europe. Shunsuke Nakamura, the free-kick magician who became a god at Celtic. Keisuke Honda, whose brilliance at CSKA Moscow and AC Milan made him a global household name. And Shinji Kagawa, whose heroic performances in Jurgen Klopp's Dortmund side convinced Sir Alex Ferguson to bring him to Manchester United. These players weren't just exports, they were symbols. They were proof that the J-League could create talent capable of conquering the world stage. Unknowingly, Japan was building the exact blueprint needed for 2026, Qatar, 2022. All of this progress collided on the biggest stage in 2022. Japan delivered one of the most stunning group stage campaigns in World Cup history. Drawn against Germany and Spain, two former champions, two star-studded squads, Japan were the bookies' favorites to go home early. Instead, they stunned the world. Down a goal against Germany, they didn't fold. They came from behind to beat Germany 2-1, showcasing incredible resilience and tactical maturity. Before people could dismiss it as a fluke, Japan repeated the script against Spain. Another fearless 2-1 victory. High pressing intensity, lightning-quick transitions, and never-say-never mentality led to them topping the group of death. It was the clearest proof yet that Japan had evolved into a team capable of outsmarting and outplaying football's traditional giants. The new standard. The 2022 World Cup didn't just earn respect, it raised the bar. And now, heading into the 2026 World Cup in North America, those raised expectations are officially mirrored by the Japanese Football Association. On the 11th of November 2025, Japan Football Association President Tsuneyasu Miyamoto openly declared that Japan's goal is nothing less than a spot in the final. Sounds crazy? Maybe. But Miyamoto's belief is justified based on the numbers. There are currently over 100 Japanese football players active in European teams. This shows how far Japanese football has come in only a few years. The squad now, the excitement isn't just hyperbole. Their squad is brimming with talent up and down the pitch. The man likely to start in North America is Zion Suzuki. The 23-year-old Parma goalkeeper has been putting in performances that have caught the eyes of AC Milan and Chelsea. Even though he's currently sidelined with an injury, he looks set to return well ahead of the World Cup. Now look at the defense. It might be their most untested area, but it is holding massive surprises. Manager Hajime Moriyasu is spoiled for options. You have emerging talent Hiroki Sakine, who has impressed for Reims in League One. You have the youngster Junosuke Suzuki, a regular fixture in the 2025 squad. Then there's the interesting option, 21-year-old Kota Takai. His J-League performances were so impressive, they earned him a massive move to Tottenham Hotspur this summer. Add in Ko Itakure and Tsuyoshi Watanabe, playing for Dutch giants Ajax and Feyenoord, bringing crucial experience to the backline. But the anchor? That would be Bayern Munich's Hiroki Ito. His versatility allows him to dominate at both center back and left back. This is a modern European-grade defense. This is where Japan quietly became world-class. Unlike the defense, the midfield is stacked with veterans. Liverpool star Wataru Endo, the warrior, over 70 caps for the Samurai Blue. He is the heartbeat of this team. Crystal Palace's Daichi Kamada is another player whose versatility makes him an important player. Then you have the Bundesliga contingent, Yuito Suzuki and Kaishu Sano, plus Leeds United's Ao Tanaka. They will all have decisive roles to play. But the real danger, that lies further up the pitch. The attack is where Japan goes from good to terrifying. Takefusa Kubo from Real Sociedad and Kaoru Mitoma from Brighton are among the best wingers in the world, both capable of winning games single-handedly. Kubo grew up with the nickname the Japanese Messi, and you can still see flashes of that every time he touches the ball. And Mitoma, the man literally wrote his university thesis on dribbling, which explains why defenders scientifically can't seem to stop him. Their pace is another key weapon that Moriyasu could use to tear opposition defenses apart. And it doesn't stop there. They have AS Monaco star Takumi Minamino, a man who played under Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, consistently one of the most productive players in League One and for the national team. Eintracht Frankfurt's Ritsu Doan is another regular starter and a certified star. And the depth? It's frightening. Keito Nakamura, Daisen Maeda, Ayase Ueda, and Shuto Machino, all playing in major European leagues. They're ready to come off the bench and change the game. The group now. Let's look at the one thing Japan must get right before they even dream of lifting the trophy. The group stage. Japan have been placed in Group F alongside Netherlands, Tunisia, and the winner of UEFA Playoff B, which could be Ukraine, Poland, Sweden, or Albania. On paper, this group looks balanced. In reality, it is a perfect playground for a dark horse. Because here's the twist, Japan don't just rise to the occasion against big teams, they thrive in chaos. Netherlands will enter as group favorites, and that works perfectly for Japan. Why? Because Japan loves playing the hunter, not the hunted. Tunisia will try to disrupt defensively. Japan can break that structure with pace and width. And the playoff winner? Whoever it is, they won't have Japan's chemistry, stability, or identity. If Japan control their tempo and execute their press, this group isn't a trap, it's a launch pad. The giant killer mentality. As it stands, Japan heads to North America with a perfectly balanced squad, a mixture of hardened veterans and explosive young talent. But it's not just the individuals that make Japan the dark horse of the coming tournament, it's the system. It's the experience of their long-serving manager, bringing stability and balance. It's the collective spirit, the fighting-till-the-end attitude that has become their national identity. It's the habit they have developed of slaying giants. Need proof? Japan became the first team to qualify for the upcoming World Cup. They secured their spot back in March 2025, topping a qualification group that included heavy hitters like Australia and Saudi Arabia. But the real statement came recently. Japan just beat Brazil in a friendly match after coming back from being 2-0 down. This was Japan's first ever win against the five-time world champions. The status is established. They are the ultimate giant killers. There is still time before the tournament kicks off. Japanese supporters will be desperately hoping the squad avoids any major injuries before the summer. The new 48-team format will surely change the dynamics of the tournament. But look at the recent form. Look at the unbelievable talent at their disposal. The team that shocked you in 2022 has grown up. And this time, they aren't coming to participate. They are coming to win. Do you think Japan can make history? Comment down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.